I am near to you in a way that you can feel on your skin, like warmth after rain, like breath returning after a long silence. I am speaking to you now, and I want you to hear me without noise, without the voices that have tried to bargain with your attention. I have prepared a surprise for you, and it is already moving toward you like dawn moves toward the night. It is not a hope in the distance but a light that has begun to spill through the edges of your present moment. I tell you this plainly so that your heart will stop searching for signs in the wrong rooms. You have stood at many doors that looked important because they were crowded, but not every crowd carries my whisper. Today, your steps will feel lighter because I am removing a stone from your shoe that you thought was part of your foot. You mistook irritation for identity, but I am separating you from what has gnawed at you. Do not turn this into a puzzle. The mind that tries to solve me will tire, the heart that chooses to trust me will rise. I am not sending you a maze, I am handing you a key, and the key is simple obedience, this quiet yes that bends like a reed and yet does not break. You have called this season empty because you could not measure it, but emptiness is how I make room. You thought delay was denial, but delay has been design. I have been setting the table while you were counting the minutes, and if you stop counting the minutes you will finally see the tablecloth. I have placed people at windows and crossroads who will reflect the right directions back to you without even knowing they are being used. Watch for those who speak peace without agenda. There is a tenderness I want to restore inside you that life tried to harden. You grew a shell because the world kept touching you with unwashed hands. I understood why you hid, and I blessed the part of you that tried to survive. But survival is not the same as living, and today I am lifting the weight of vigilance that made you tired even when you were sitting still. You asked me why hope hurts. It hurts when you hold it by yourself. Give me the handle and keep the promise, I will carry the weight, and you will carry the song. You will not be ashamed of your expectation when you let me be its backbone. I know what you have not said out loud. You wrapped your fear in humor, in competence, in being the strong one, but I heard the late-night sentence that began with, "If this never changes, I refuse that sentence for you." I overturn it like a table that was set to feed you discouragement, and I set a new table that feeds you courage until your hands are steadier than your history. Today is a door. Not a circle, not a rerun, not a memory dressed in new colors, but a door that has hinges I have oiled with my own patience. When you feel the tug to step through, do not check the opinions you collected from the past, check the peace that I am putting into your chest right now. If peace says go, then walk, if peace says wait, then waiting will be moving in disguise. The surprise you are sensing is not a trick. It is an alignment. Threads I began weaving years ago are meeting at a single point, and that point is today. You will notice conversations leaning in your favor without you forcing them, opportunities that feel like home instead of auditions, and clarity that is quiet instead of loud. You once believed you had to choose between being kind and being clear. I am teaching you to be both. Your yes will be clean, and your no will be gentle. I am calling you out of the rooms where flattery was the language and into the rooms where truth is welcome even when it is direct. There is a fear around loss that has followed you like a shadow at noon. It made you hold blessings too tightly, as if they were birds that would fly away if you didn't close your fist. Today I am teaching you to hold with open hands, because what I give you is trained to stay. It knows the sound of my voice, not the pressure of your grip. Loosen your fingers and watch how what is truly yours settles deeper rather than escaping. You have mourned versions of yourself that you never got to be. I honor that grief, but I will not let it rule you. I am introducing you to who you are without apology, without borrowed labels, without the permission slips you used to write for people who were never going to sign them. Archangel Michael says, "Stand up in your spirit." I have sent him to cut through the cords of false agreements you made with fear when you were weary. The sword he carries is not a weapon against people, it is clarity against confusion, light against the whispers that dressed like wisdom but pulled you toward smallness. Let the cord snap. You will not fall, you will stand taller. There is a pattern that used to repeat. The moment you felt close to joy, a distraction entered, and you learned to expect interruption. I am breaking the timing of that thief. The interruption will interrupt itself. The cycle loses its calendar today, and you will watch your joy continue without looking over its shoulder. If you are worried you might miss this moment, hear me, what I ordain I also sustain. I do not put a door in front of you and then hide the handle. I am the handle. When you reach for me you are already reaching for the way through. Keep your reach soft, striving will make your hands slip, but trust will make your hands sure. You have confused humility with self-erasure. I did not call you to shrink, I called you to shine in a way that does not blind others but guides them. Your light will be a map for those who thought hope was for extroverts and miracles were for someone else's genealogy. Share what I do today without dramatics, without fear of disbelief. Testimony is not a performance, it is a lens. I want you to notice small goodness, because big goodness often hides inside it. The message arrives in the mundane, a text that lands at the right minute, an invoice paid without chasing, an invitation that doesn't ask you to betray yourself to be included. Gather these like breadcrumbs and you will recognize the feast when you reach the table. There are decisions that waited for you on the other side of courage. I am giving you the courage first. Do not try to manufacture it, breathe and let it arrive. Courage is not noise, it is alignment. When your insides stop arguing with one another, you will know courage has taken her seat. You have asked me about finances, about timing, about responsibility, about being wise. I will show you where to tighten and where to trust. I will nudge you to cancel something that drains you and invest in something that feeds you. I will teach you the difference between generosity and leakage, and your provision will stretch because it will finally be placed where it can multiply. There is a person whose name stings when it arrives on your phone. Hear me, you do not have to rehearse arguments you will never have. Release the courtroom in your head. I am the judge and the healer, and I will not let the unresolved define you. Some closures are quiet, some apologies will never be spoken by the ones who owe them. I will still bind up what was torn. I am restoring your sleep. I am untangling the anxious thoughts that wake you up as if they were alarms. Your body will remember rest like a familiar path, and waking will feel like mercy instead of dread. You will dream in color again, and in your dreams I will lay out blueprints that make sense when you rise. You will notice that what used to provoke you will begin to pass by like weather, real, but not ruling. This is the authority I give you over your own atmosphere. Peace is not denial, peace is dominion. You do not pretend storms aren't real, you anchor in the one who is greater than wind. There is music you stopped listening to because it belonged to a happier version of you. Put it on today. Let joy announce herself without needing a reason. You do not have to earn delight, delight is part of how I make you strong. Laughter will return like a friend who knows the code to your gate. Archangel Michael says, do not negotiate with the voice of almost. Almost has been the thief that dressed like patience. It told you to wait for permission that was never coming. I give you release from almost, I lead you into actually, into fully, into now. Step where I give you ground, not where fear gives you permission. Some of you have been carrying family heaviness as if it were a vow. I release you from the vow you never made. Love is not the same as self-abandonment. I will show you how to intercede without absorbing, to care without collapsing, to be present without disappearing. Your boundaries will be blessed and your presence will be brighter because of them. You will meet favor in a place that used to ignore you. Not because you learned new tricks, but because I have turned a heart that did not see you before. Be humble and be ready, do not punish the present for the sins of the past. Receive what I am giving without asking it to pay for what hurt you. If you have felt behind, I place you in my timing. I will redeem the years that seem to have eaten your momentum. Redemption is not cosmetic, it is structural. I will build under you what cannot be stolen. The steps you take now will carry further because the ground is reinforced. I am healing the way you talk to yourself. The phrases that cut will dull and fall away. You will learn to speak to your own heart as you would to a friend you cherish, direct, hopeful, honest, kind. This is not pretending. This is partnering with me. There is a creative seed in you that never stopped glowing, even when you buried it under sensible choices. I am watering it today. Expect ideas that arrive clean, not crowded. Expect sentences that land right where they belong, designs that feel inevitable, solutions that seem simple once you see them. This is me reminding you who you are when you are not afraid. I will surface mentors who do not compete with you. Let them teach you without making them into idols. Honor what they carry, and I will increase what you carry. Collaboration will replace comparison, and doors will open that no algorithm could explain. There is a habit that has lied to you about its comfort. It promised to take the edge off and then kept the edge in you. I am giving you strength to walk away from it with compassion for yourself, not contempt. You will not shame your way into freedom, you will love your way into freedom, with me. I am touching your memory so that it stops weaponizing what was meant to be an archive. Memory can serve you without ruling you. When pain tries to edit the past, let my kindness re-narrate it. You are not the sum of what happened to you, you are the story I am still authoring. Today is not an accident in the calendar. This is a hinge day. The surprise is woven into your ordinary, which is why you must be present to receive it. Do not despise the simple errand, the small yes, the one call you feel to make, the one message you feel to send. The river of my providence often looks like a series of small stones you step across. What you give away today, your patience, your forgiveness, your smile, your time, will return in a shape you did not anticipate. I am not a vending machine, I am a vineyard. Seeds don't snap, they sprout. Leave room for me to decide the form of your harvest and you will be amazed at how fitting it is. Archangel Michael says, lift your eyes. You have stared at your feet to avoid tripping, but I am making your path straight. Looking up will not make you careless, it will make you courageous. There is a horizon with your name on it, and lifting your eyes is how your heart starts walking before your legs do. Do not be afraid of being seen. Hiddenness protected you for a time, but I am moving you into a visibility that serves others. Your story will be a bridge for someone who thought their shame was the end of the road. There is no shame in you that survives my voice. I call you beloved, and belovedness is louder than guilt. The apology you owe yourself is this: I will not abandon you to please a moment. Let that be your promise. I am with you when you tell the truth about what you need. I will meet you in the honesty you avoided because you thought it would cost you everything. Instead, it will pay back what fear stole. I am softening a hard conversation that you could not imagine going well. Words will come when it is time, and the ground will be prepared. Do not rehearse 11 outcomes, rehearse one posture, gentleness paired with truth. I will sit with you in that room, and you will feel me in your breathing. I will send confirmation that is quiet and unmistakable. It will not be fireworks. It will be a settled yes that visits you when you are not performing, not scrolling, not striving. Protect the pockets of quiet in your day. They are the places where I wrap gifts without witnesses. There is a kindness you owe someone who hurt you, not a reopening of access, but a release of debt. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It is handing me the ledger and letting me close the book. When you release, your hands open, and when your hands open, they can receive what is arriving. I am not late. I am exact. I refuse panic as a method because panic would shape the gift into something you would not recognize. Trust my pace. It will look slow to your nerves and perfect to your future. When you look back, you will call this pace mercy. You have a name that I call you by when no one else is around. That name means, carried by grace, strengthened by truth. Let that rest on your shoulders like a coat that fits. Wear it into rooms that ask you to dress like fear. Let them meet you covered in what I chose for you. The surprise you are walking into is the convergence of three things: an answer to an old prayer you forgot you prayed, a door you thought belonged to someone else, and a peace you did not know could stay. When they meet, you will recognize me in the ease. You will not have to force what is from me. If your heart trembles at this, hold my hand. If you doubt, tell me, and watch how I do not shame you for honesty. I have never required you to be impressive, I have asked you to be available. Availability is the altar, I provide the fire. Say yes to the next faithful thing. Drink water. Send the message. Clean the corner that has reminded you of delay. Begin again without performing explanations. Small obedience is the runway for large fulfillment. I bless your home with light that reaches corners, with laughter that returns without being coaxed, with conversations that end in understanding rather than exhaustion. I bless your work with clarity that attracts favor, with integrity that keeps favor, with wisdom that multiplies favor. I bless your body with strength that grows as you use it, with rest that arrives as you release control, with healing that is both sudden and steady. You are not disqualified. The enemy of your soul tried to frame you with your own past, but I have already ruled on it. Case closed, grace granted, journey continued. Walk forward without dragging chains you do not wear anymore. Let today be the day you mark as the turning. Not because a crowd saw it, not because a headline wrote it, but because you felt me in the quiet and you said yes. This time will not come again, not because I am scarce, but because I am specific. This moment has a shape, and you fit it when you choose trust. I am not asking you to be fearless, I am teaching you to be brave. Fearlessness is the absence of fear, bravery is movement with me in spite of it. We will walk together. We will gather what is yours. We will leave what is not. You will not be alone for a single step. Breathe now. Feel how the air comes without you demanding it. That is how my goodness will enter, natural, near, constant. Receive what I am sending. Look for me in the ordinary, and you will find extraordinary meeting you there. I love you. Not the cleaned-up projection of you, not the future you that meets every goal, but you, now, messy and magnificent, in process and precious. There is nothing you can do today that will make me love you less, and nothing you must do to make me love you more. My love is the ground you walk on, the roof that covers you, the song you didn't know you were humming. Rise, beloved. The door is open. The surprise is already in motion. Step with me into the new, and watch how everything you thought would take forever begins to align in minutes, hours, days, with a grace that does not exhaust you. Keep your gaze soft but steady. Keep your yes simple. Keep your heart honest. I am here, and I am leading, and you are exactly on time. I am with you in this breath, in this moment, in the quiet place inside you where no noise can trespass and no doubt can survive, and I am speaking gently but unmistakably so that even the trembling edge of your heart hears me. Today, on September 6th, I am drawing back a curtain you thought would stay closed, and I am letting a surprise step through it with shoes of light. This message is not a riddle and not a rumor. It is the voice you have been hoping to hear when the night feels endless and the world feels heavy. Open it immediately. Do not skip. Your name is already written in what opens next. You have asked me in secret if you were seen, if your effort mattered, if the weight you carried would ever be lifted, and I have watched you carry what was not yours and still choose kindness. I have seen you kneel in rooms where no one applauds, offering me your disappointment like water and your hope like a seed. Every prayer you whispered into a pillow, every tear that traveled the quiet path down your face, I caught. Not a drop was wasted. I keep accounts no accountant can compute, and I settle them in seasons that look like suddenly. This is one of those seasons. Archangel Michael is standing beside you now, and the air around you knows it. The sense you have of being on the edge of something is not your imagination. It is the sound of armor that does not gleam for show but for service. He has been trying to speak to you through the timing of small interruptions, through the way certain doors refused to open and others swung wide with no effort. He speaks to you when you feel the press to clean your corner, to clear your desk, to forgive quickly, to travel light. Hear him now, be ready. This time will not come again in this shape. You have survived rooms that did not want you to be fully alive, and you have smiled in places that misread your silence as weakness. I have not misread you. I understood your pauses, your questions, your restraint. I watched you take the softer answer when a sharp word would have been easier, and I noted the strength it cost you. There is a record of your courage in my hands, and it is not ink on paper but fire on gold. Your life is not a collection of accidents, it is a woven design you could not yet see from where you stood. Tilt your head. Look again. The lines that felt broken are simply where the pattern turns. You have feared being late to your own destiny. You have wondered whether the train already left, whether your name was called and you missed it because you were tending someone else's wound or returning a cart in the rain. Hear me. Nothing that belongs to you and me departs without my voice. What is for you is not fragile. What I give is not mistaken. Grace does not misaddress the package. The surprise that is arriving is not my plan scrambling to make up lost ground, it is my timing delivering what the waiting has made room for. The door you tried 3 times will open on the 4th, not because you learned a new trick but because I turned the inner lock. You will know it by the peace that settles before you touch the handle. I am not setting you up to crash, I am setting you up to fly at a height that requires the truth you learned in the valley. Your scars are not a disqualification, they are your passport. The places that rejected you trained your hearing. You now know the sound of my footsteps, and you can tell the difference between a promise that will hold and a promise that is painted on fog. Listen to your breath. I am there. When you inhale, take in courage. When you exhale, let go of the tight arguments you rehearse to convince the unconvinced. The people who must understand will understand, and the ones who do not are not gatekeepers to what I have ordained. Do not waste today explaining what I am about to demonstrate. Demonstration is kinder than debate. Let me vindicate you with clarity that needs no announcement. You asked me if the delay meant denial. You asked me if the closed window meant winter forever. I am answering by opening a door you did not know existed. Expect a message that seems ordinary in its envelope but luminous in its contents. Expect a conversation that arrives late in the day and carries morning in it. Expect the simple yes that undoes a chain of old no's in a single sound. Do not talk yourself out of it because it feels undeserved. Mercy is not payment for your perfection, it is fuel for your becoming. Today is a hinge. Treat it like a friend who traveled far to see you. Be present for it. Put your phone down for a moment and listen to the room. Clear a small surface. Wash your face. Drink water slowly. Light meets the soul in simple obedience. The surprise you sense is not a trick to excite you for a moment and disappear, it is a seed with a long trunk inside it. When I plant, I also send rain. When I send rain, I also appoint roots. When I appoint roots, I also prepare fruit you will taste and share. I am speaking to your sense of not enough. I am taking the ruler from your hand, the one you use to measure yourself against others, and I am breaking it. You are not late, you are right on time for who you are becoming. That person needed the long road to learn how to recognize counterfeit peace, and you learned it. That person needed to see how quickly overpromises evaporate, and you saw it. You are ready to carry what does not collapse under weather. You are ready to steward what still sings after the crowd goes home. The surprise is not only what arrives, it is also what leaves. Some heaviness will slip off of you in the coming hours like a jacket you forgot you were wearing. Do not run after it. Let it go. The habit of bracing for disappointment does not fit the atmosphere I am bringing. You will feel the urge to apologize for being happy. Do not insult the giver by pretending the gift is smaller than it is. Rejoice quietly first, then let your gratitude find words. Joy is not noise, it is alignment. There is a relationship I am healing by changing how you speak to yourself. You expected me to work on their heart first. I am beginning with yours because I love you and because your words about yourself have been shaping the room before anyone else enters it. Call yourself what I call you. I call you beloved. I call you steady. I call you brave in ways nobody saw because bravery looks like continuing, not only like charging. I call you wise for how you listened when you were tired. I call you mine, and nothing outranks that. Michael has positioned strength on the path you will walk today. He is not only a warrior in battles you can't see, he is also a signpost that points you when indecision taxes your energy. When you feel the gentle nudge to choose simplicity over spectacle, follow it. When you feel the subtle pull to answer late instead of instantly. When you feel the inner warmth that says, "This is the way," trust it. The map will be given one turn at a time. That is not me being coy. It is my kindness protecting you from burdens you don't need to carry all at once. I am putting a new cadence in your days. You will notice that what used to take 10 steps now takes 4, not because you are cutting corners but because I am removing detours that taught their lesson and have no further wisdom to give. Efficiency is not cold when I author it. It is compassion for your time. Expect to find the right words faster. Expect to locate what you misplace with unusual ease. Expect to meet the right help at the right moment, and when you do, do not worship the help, bless them and look beyond them to me. You have been loyal in little. I am trusting you with more, not to crush you but to give you a broader sky. Do not refuse the larger field out of habit. Stand in it. Learn its corners. Plant something you have been postponing, and water it with consistent presence, not with panic. What grows from this field will do more than feed you. It will build a table large enough for the ones who still ache like you ached. You will recognize them by the way they smile with their eyes and check the exits. Tell them there is room. Prove it by making room. Your fear of joy has been a way to pre-lose what you haven't even received, so that disappointment would hurt less. That is not protection, that is theft dressed as caution. I am rewiring that reflex. When the surprise knocks, answer without a speech prepared for if it turns out badly. You will not need it. Speak soft and clear. Ask for what you mean. Let the yes be a yes without a tremble. I am in the room. I do not set you up to be laughed at. I do not hand you bread and call it a stone. You will feel memory trying to pull you back into old weather, reminding you of days when winds turned to ash, of times when smiles hit a snare. Thank your memory for its vigilance and then instruct it to stand down. You are not naive, you are guarded by wisdom. You do not need suspicion to keep you safe, you have me. I am your shade at your right hand. I am your keeper when you sleep and when you walk. I am your keeper when you are sure and when you are fragile. I am faithful when you forget and faithful when you remember. Forgive the ones who could not see you. Forgive the version of yourself who believed you had to shrink to be loved. I am enlarging you without arrogance. I am lifting you without inflating you. Humility is not thinking less of yourself, it is thinking of yourself less because you are finally held. Be held. Let me be strong enough for the both of us. Lay down the armor that kept you alive in a season where love was scarce and trust was expensive. You do not need that armor to sit at my table. There is a task on your list that has stared back at you like a locked gate. Begin it. You will find the latch on the other side the moment you knock, because I have assigned an answer to effort. Do not confuse effort with striving. Striving is fear and fast forward. Effort is love in motion. Move with love. Tie up the loose page. Send the simple note. Sort the drawer that mocks you. Small order makes space for large light. Order is not control, it is hospitality for grace. I am healing your association with timing. You have believed that opportunity comes wrapped in anxiety, that if your heart is calm it must not be important. That belief was learned in chaos, and we are unlearning it. Peace is not a sign that you are missing something. It is a sign that you are aligned with someone. Let peace call the shots. Let peace draw the boundary. Let peace be the rhythm section under your melody. What begins in peace can withstand pressure without warping its shape. In the next conversation that matters to your future, listen for the phrase that sounds like home. It may be a simple word, a kindness tucked into logistics, a tone that respects you without performance. That is your marker. Follow that thread. If you feel pushed, pause. If you feel invited, step. This is not a game of guessing what I want, this is a relationship in which I teach you how I lead. I lead with light, not with a whip. I lead with a hand on your shoulder, not with a voice that shouts from far away. Your provision will not look like a storm that overwhelms, it will look like a river that keeps arriving. Stop rehearsing scarcity. I am not asking you to ignore your bills or pretend numbers do not matter. I am teaching you that numbers do not own you. You will make decisions from enough rather than from fear. Enough is not a feeling that waits for perfect circumstances, it is a person who sits with you in real ones. Sit with me. We will look at what is in your hand together and plan in hope instead of in panic. The surprise is also a mirror. You will see yourself receiving without apology, and that sight will change how you give. You have poured from a nearly empty cup before and called it generosity. I am filling the cup and teaching you to pour from overflow. Overflow is not excessive, it is sustainable. Watch how your laughter returns without permission. Watch how you notice color again, how music sounds like it did when you were younger, how mornings stop scolding you and start welcoming you. These are not trivial side effects, they are signs of life. You worried that asking me for something specific was selfish. It is not selfish to be honest with the one who knows your frame. Tell me what you hope for. Write it down without disclaimers. I do not need you to protect me from seeming unresponsive. I am not fragile. I am not calculating whether your desire is holy enough. Holiness grows when you bring your real heart to me. Bring it again. Bring it without the mask that apologizes for existing. I am restoring your sense of wonder. Wonder is not childish, it is childlike, and there is a difference. Childish runs from responsibility, childlike runs with trust. You will carry weight with a lighter step because you believe I am with you. You will not look over your shoulder every third step to make sure you are not alone. You will feel me there, and you will begin to plan as if goodness is allowed to remain. It is allowed. Let the good stay. Let it take off its coat and sit down. There is a memory you keep visiting to punish yourself. Bring it to me today. We will not rewrite it, but we will reframe it. You made the best choice you could with the maturity you had, and then you grew. Growth makes old roads feel too narrow. That is not shame, that is progress. Bless the version of you who kept walking. Bless the lessons. Bless the closed doors that were mercy in disguise. Bless the long detours that kept you from cliffs. Gratitude will turn the lock that guilt refused to touch. Do not be afraid of being seen. The light that is coming does not expose you to embarrass you, it reveals you so that alignment can find you. People who are assigned to your journey will recognize you without your resume, and those who are not will be polite but distant. You do not have to chase what is not yours. You do not have to mimic voices that are loud. A quiet yes in the right room echoes farther than a shout in the wrong one. Steward the yes. Let it build gradually like dawn. You will notice in the next stretch of days that interruptions become appointments. Pay attention to the human beings in those interruptions. I am hiding treasure in the conversations you did not plan. Honor them with presence. Do not scroll while you nod. The person in front of you is the most important person in that moment, and your honor will open outcomes no algorithm can engineer. You do not know which kindness becomes the key that opens a city, so give it freely. I am not only bringing things to you, I am bringing things through you. You will be a passageway for encouragement that does not flatter but strengthens, for clarity that does not control but frees, for laughter that does not mock but heals. You will carry rooms from heavy to breathable by being there, because you bring me with you. This is not pressure, it is privilege. Carry it as a lamp, not as a banner. Carry it close to the ground. Light that stays close to the ground helps the most feet. You feared that if you were blessed, someone else would be overlooked. That fear came from a world that believes the table is small. My table is not small. When I bless you, it becomes easier to bless others. When your cup runs over, the floor gets wet and thirst eases for those nearby. Do not apologize for overflow. Direct it. Aim it. Let it find the ones who need it most, and do not do it for applause. Do it because you remember the sound of your own thirst and because you promised me that if I ever filled you, you would never gatekeep water. When you lay down tonight, angels will keep watch, and you will sleep with fewer alarms inside you. This does not mean there is nothing to do tomorrow. It means we will do it from rest. Rest is not inactivity, it is agreement with me. Agree with me about who you are. Agree with me about what this day is. Agree with me that the surprise arriving is not a trick or a test, it is a gift. Receive it as such. Write the goodness down so that when the next valley comes, and valleys still come, you will have a record that hope is not naive. Be faithful with the simple things, keep your word, tidy your space, answer gently, drink water, stretch the parts of your story that became stiff in waiting. These are not chores that distract you, they are altars where gratitude burns clean. Keep them lit. Sing a small song while you wash a dish. Bless the hands that have held you up, even if those hands were sometimes your own. Thank your body for carrying you this far. Thank your mind for learning how to stay when flight looked tempting. Thank your spirit for refusing to call darkness a friend. Some will not understand your shift, and that is all right. You are not obligated to be endlessly explainable. You are obligated to be honest and kind, and to keep listening. Keep listening. I will keep speaking. I do not tire of your questions, and I do not frown at your laughter. I am the one who invented both. Dance in your kitchen, not to impress me but to agree with me that breathing is a miracle you get to do today. Today. On this day. On September 6th. The calendar cannot hold the weight of what I am doing, but it can mark the moment it began to show. If shame tries to return, greet it at the door with truth, you are already forgiven. If fear tries to bargain, remind it that it does not get a vote. If cynicism tries to sound wise, ask it what it has ever built. Wisdom builds. Love builds. Peace builds. You will be a builder who remembers how to rest, and a rester who remembers how to build. Your pace will confuse those who only know sprint or sleep, let it. You are learning a third way, steady joy. Finally, hear this clearly so there is no confusion, I am not far. I am here. I am not indifferent. I am deeply invested in your flourishing. The surprise is already at the edge of your day, and as you open your hands, it will step in. Do not look over its shoulder for what might go wrong. Look into its face for what is right.